Welcome to Barely Entertaining's Classic Collections podcast, where we aim to introduce a whole new audience to great classic stories. I'm Kathy, and I hope you enjoy the story I found for you today. The Glass Mender, a retelling of the classic story by Maurice Baring. Once upon a time there lived a king and a queen who had a daughter called Rainbow. When she was christened, the people of the city were gathered together outside the cathedral, and amongst them was an old gypsy woman. The gypsy wanted to go inside the cathedral, but the guard would not let her in, because he said there was no room. When the ceremony was over, the king and the queen walked out, followed by the head nurse who carried the baby in her arms. The gypsy called out to them, "Your daughter will be very beautiful and as happy as the day is long until she sees the spring." And then she disappeared into the crowd. The king and the queen gasped. The king said, "That gypsy must have been a fairy. And what she called out, a curse." "Yes," said the queen, "there is only one thing to be done. Rainbow must never see the spring, nor even hear that there is such a thing." To avoid the curse, every year Rainbow was locked in a tower with the curtains drawn over the windows. Rainbow grew up beautiful and cheerful, but on her 16th birthday, a breeze slipped through her window, carrying the tune of a simple pipe. Suddenly her room was filled with the sights and sounds of spring, flowers blooming, birds singing. The vision vanished. Rainbow was enchanted. That night she fell ill, and no doctor could help. Finally, a wise woman came and explained the situation. She has seen the spring, and only hearing its true song again will cure her. The king at once sent for the court musicians and told them to play Spring's song. They fiddled, and they blew every kind of pipe and flute they had. They beat the cymbals and plucked the harp, but none of these tunes kindled the slightest interest in Rainbow. The king then issued a proclamation saying, "Whoever should play a song that cures Rainbow will receive any reward he should ask for." Musicians came from all over to play the Song of Spring, but none could cure Rainbow. Until one day a glass mender came to fix a broken window. He whistled a simple tune as he climbed the stairs. Rainbow leapt up. "That's it! The Song of Spring!" She was instantly cured.
To the forest it sings, soft as the dew on the butterfly's wings. The princess stirs from her shadowy sleep, awakening life from the silence so deep. The fairy's curse was a frostbitten thread, binding the flowers and skies overhead. But the princess hums with a voice so pure, a melody woven the world to allure. True song of spring, let it rise, let it bloom. Sweep away winter's unyielding gloom. In the breath of the wind and in the rustle of leaves, the curse is broken as the earth heaves. The rivers now dance with a glistening trail. The mountains echo with the skylark's wail. Her voice ignites the slumbering glade. New life in the forest, her promises made.
The fairies retreat, their shadows unwind. The sun graces all with its radiant shine. The princess holds the season's bright key, unlocking the magic for all to see.
True song of spring, let it rise, let it bloom. Sweep away winter's unyielding gloom. In the breath of the wind, in the rustle of leaves, the curse is broken as the earth heaves.
And so the Glass Mender went to the king to claim his reward. He wished to marry Rainbow. At first the king was unhappy that his daughter would marry a humble glass mender. But he did not want to play games with his daughter's health. Besides, Rainbow was determined to marry the glass mender too. And as he was so very young and so very handsome and so very well-spoken, the king told the queen that he thought he may very likely be a prince in disguise. Rainbow and the Glass Mender, whom she affectionately called Blue Eyes, married. But he had 2 rules to ensure their happiness. He wished to remain a traveling glass mender, and she must never ask his true name. Together they wandered the world, bringing joy and light wherever they went. They even had a son who they named Blue Boy, who was just as magical as his father. But one night, after Rainbow had been sleeping for a few hours, she woke with a start. The moon had risen and the campfire had not yet gone out, but the ashes were smoldering, and there by the fire sat Blue Eyes. Rainbow could see him distinctly, but he seemed to her to look different from usual. Strange, beautiful, more like a fairy prince than a glass mender. Sitting with him by the fire was a lovely woman with roses in her hair and some ears of wheat in her hand. They were talking together. Rainbow was so surprised that she uttered a gasp. Immediately the beautiful woman vanished into the woods. When Blue Eyes came to her, she pretended to be asleep. In the morning, Rainbow hoped that Blue Eyes would tell her about the beautiful stranger from the night before, but he did not. The next night, as soon as Blue Eyes thought that Rainbow was asleep, he blew a note on his glass pipe. And once more the strange woman came out of the woods. Rainbow, who was only pretending to sleep, saw how Blue Eyes talked together with this strange woman from the woods. Once more Blue Eyes seemed to look quite different and not at all like the glass mender, but it was very dark that night and Rainbow could not see him clearly. The next morning Blue Eyes again said nothing about the stranger, and Rainbow grew sad and angry. Did he not trust her? Who would he visit with in secret? If Blue Eyes would only explain, she thought to herself, everything would be all right. So as they were riding through the woods, Rainbow said to him, I saw you in the woods last night talking to a strange woman. And Blue Eyes, you looked so different. I am sure that you are not just a glass mender. And now that I have seen you like this, I shall have no peace until I know the truth. He sadly replied, but the truth means I must speak my real name. I am Spring. The stranger from the woods is my sister Summer. Now that you know who I really am, I must leave. I am sorry that I could not tell you before. This was the only way I could stay here with you. Rainbow cried. Blue Eyes told her, there is hope. You must search the world and find me again. If you recognize my look or voice in another, then say this rhyme and I can return. Blue Eyes, come back to me over the hills and over the sea. Brother of summer, husband and friend, come and stay till the world shall end. But say it to the wrong person, and I will be lost to you forever.
You must search the world and find me again. If you recognize my look or voice in another say this rhyme, and I can return.
Blue eyes, come back to me over the hills and over the sea. Brother of summer, husband and friend, come and stay till the world shall end.
But say it to the wrong one, I'll be lost to you forever.
Blue eyes, come back to me over the hills and over the sea. Brother of summer, husband and friend, come and stay till the world shall end.
Those are the rules in the fairy kingdom. He kissed her and said, "I know you will find me again." And then he vanished into the forest, dressed in blossoms and dew. Rainbow searched the world with Blue Boy. She met many people, young lovers, singing sailors, sweet children, but none had Blue Eyes' voice or gaze, and years passed. One autumn evening, when Rainbow had almost given up hope, she overheard an old couple speaking gently and sweetly to one another as they sat on a bench. The man looked at his wife and said, "You have the same lovely blue eyes as ever, and your wit is as sharp. It is as if no time has passed." The old woman said, "And I see no difference in you. You're just as strong and as brave as ever." Rainbow's heart knew at once that this was the sign she had been looking for. She called out,
Blue eyes, come back to me over the hills and over the sea. Brother of summer, husband and friend, come and stay till the world shall end.
and there he stood, just as he had been before. Blue Eyes took Rainbow's hand and said he would never leave again. They would spend spring riding through the world, unseen by most, but always bringing joy. In summer and autumn they would be hidden. In winter they would rest in the Snow Queen's palace. They stayed to see Blue Boy marry a kind girl named Cherry Blossom. As a gift, Blue Eyes gave them a magical glass pipe that would summon spring whenever it was played. And whenever you hear 3 cheerful notes on a breeze, know that it is Blue Boy calling to his parents. And if you ever see a man with a rainbow scarf and a woman with a flowered branch riding winged horses through the woods, you'll know it's Blue Eyes and Rainbow bringing spring. Thanks for joining me for this classic story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I can't wait to share another classic with you, so keep listening to Barely Entertaining for more great classic content.